This is a brand new place for you to come every week. The name of our podcast is Two Coaches and One Couch. And this is a place where you can come to be seen and heard absolutely without judgment. So, I'm a life coach, I work on personal development, and my area of interest is around generational healing. Siobhan.
Hello and welcome. I am Siobhan Walsh. I'm a life and recovery coach, and I come to you from lived experience also. So I'm delighted to be here, and I'm looking forward to having all of these deep conversations, Kathy.
Brilliant. And we have them all the time, Siobhan.
We do, and I think that's why we've started this podcast
Mm,
because
mm.
we have known each other a little while now, and we always have the best chats. And we thought, why don't we share this with other people?
What do you think the benefit of this podcast is going to be for people that will listen and tune into us weekly?
And the benefit will be for, I mean, accessing support is
Mm,
a challenge for different people from, wanting to open up to financial reasons. And I think that, offering a space where people can maybe get some tools and some useful information if they can't access certain things, I think that's a huge part of why we're doing this as well, isn't that?
it is. And also for me, I want to share that I think it's important that you will find in our podcast that like we're looking at really stuff that happens day in, day out for all of us. And
Mm.
sometimes when you're going through a rough period in your life, you think you're the only one in the world that's experiencing it. And what's going to happen here in our podcast is you're going to realize you're not alone. And it's something that maybe a lot of people struggle with, whatever you're going through,
Mm.
whatever that is. So this is what we're kind of about really, is sharing a space where you can be seen and heard. And again, there's absolutely zero judgment here because we work with our clients every day and we do have our own backstory.
Yeah.
Don't we, Siobhan?
Absolutely do. And do you want to go into a little bit of that backstory of what brought you here, Kathy?
Well, I suppose my name is Cathy O'Reilly. I don't think I said that in the very beginning. Anyway, it doesn't matter, does
Hey,
it?
Kathy.
I'm Cathy anyway. You know that. But my backstory, I have an interest in personal development purely because I struggled for so long in my younger years with lack of confidence, feeling a bucket load of shame, trying to get through the day wearing masks, and really just afraid of my living life of living.
Mm.
And I started my training in personal development through life coaching program in 2011. And that was just a taster for me. Once I got going, I was absolutely excited and it kind of erupted something in me that I thought, I just need more and more and more of this. And I'm still, really, to be honest, I'm still very much learning. There's never an end to it.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing, isn't it? That once you kind of crack it open, you kind of like, oh God,
Mm,
so much to learn, and
mm.
so much to
And what
gain.
about you, Siobhan? When did you start your journey of this whole work that you're doing now?
Oh gosh, I think for me there wasn't just one thread that
Mm,
I think growing up I was always quite sensitive and
mm,
always a bit of, I call myself a bit of a feeler. I
mm,
felt things quite deeply and was always really curious of how people behaved. And, I was really observant as a child and didn't necessarily know how to kind of cope with that, I suppose. So through my own like lived experience and journey, I used things that to make me feel a bit safe. I really struggled with self-worth,
mm,
not feeling good enough in school. And so now that would be a lot of the work that I do with other people to help them
mm,
regulate behavior strategies and to make
mm,
them feel like they're safe inside. That's a huge thing for me.
mm,
Um,
mm,
and I suppose I did my training in, so my background is in education. I started off in DESH schools, where I saw firsthand the behavior and emotional
mm,
struggles that come from, different areas.
mm,
And again, just that curiosity of,
mm,
people feel so misunderstood and not good enough. And that really shaped a lot of the work that I do as well. Then I went into corporate. And again, it was just a tick box kind of thing, Kathy, to, to try and, oh, I should be doing this, but I really had that, always had that drive to be helping other people. So after COVID, that's kind of what I decided to go back to. I
Mm,
did trauma and embodiment certificate and then did lots of spiritual stuff,
mm.
yoga, Kundalini, lots of different things. And I kind of incorporate all of those into my big toolbox that
Isn't
I
that
use.
wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? And the thing about your toolbox, Siobhan, is it's a very important thing to mention because there is no one fits all, really.
That's
You know,
my
so, I
actual
mean,
slogan.
this is what I've learned in the room with my clients is that, like, you know, I mean, I'd be honest, there's always patterns that they will start showing up from, because my area of interest is always on generational stuff because I did family constellations. I loved the idea of what it was like as a child. What was it like for them growing up? How was it like for them to be mothered and fathered by their parents? What was it like to be the sibling? What was it like to be in a house of whether it be chaos or, I mean, and sometimes it's about taking off the rose tinted glasses and seeing it exactly as it was.
Mm,
Because that's the beginning of the journey of healing, is to really see it exactly as it was and find unconsciously what patterns have you been carrying or
mm,
have we carried from there that we can now leave down. Well,
absolutely.
breaking the trance, as they call it in generational healing, breaking the trance of generational trauma.
Mm,
So for me, that's a big one. And there is no, as I say, one size fits all, because what comes in really is just somebody that has their own lived experience and they need different tools. As you say, you've got lots of tools there that you're going to bring and try to help people to resolve whatever it is that's holding them back.
absolutely. And I think that's really important to mention that, when you are younger and you're growing and you're witnessing the world, you aren't aware of those tools. So you use what you have in those moments as safety to protect yourself until you learn actually that might not be the healthiest way of coping. But, as a young child or, as you go through life, we do use things
Mm.
that are there to give us that survival in the moment. So yeah, it's all about learning how to be a human.
But to be peace, isn't peace? Aren't we all trying to get to a place? And of course, now our new superpower is being self-regulated, our nervous system, to get the nervous system to get to a place of being self-regulated.
Mm,
So it's about the awareness journey, isn't it? And this is what coaching and our podcast is about, really. It's about the awareness journey.
yeah,
What can
absolutely.
we become aware of? That once we can see it, we can actually name it and we can change it then.
Absolutely. It's so true. It's so true. I think the more awareness, and this is just my own opinion of this, the more awareness that you have, the harder it is to go back because
Mm,
you can become too aware, which also has, like there's a good and bad to everything. You can become too aware then. So it's kind of just managing your own expectation with and working with what you want to go forth with. I think that's a really important thing because the more aware you are, you can become overstimulated to that as well. You can
mm,
become really perceptive. What's the word I'm looking
mm, mm,
to everything then? And like you, that's
mm,
that's
mm,
the extreme.
mm,
So it's
mm,
just becoming aware of your own
mm,
patterns, why you might behave and react in certain ways that once might have served you, and then, just
mm,
moving through at a pace that's good in a safe, for me anyway, and the people that I work with, it's safety is paramount, someone
mm,
that you can actually just really
mm,
trust. It's real
mm,
relational practice,
mm,
someone
mm,
who can support
mm,
you and listen to you
mm, mm,
as you build that awareness, as you go through,
mm, mm.
you know.
Yeah, I suppose it's important, as you said, in the journey of awareness to observe, but not to absorb, because
Mm,
the absorbing part of it is like when it starts to get in and it becomes overwhelming.
mm,
So awareness for me at the moment, I'm doing a piece actually on my own social media around awareness. It's about just being aware of your environment and taking it in for a period of time so that you actually see what you're doing and becoming aware of it, as opposed to just being on the treadmill of doing without any conscious awareness of it. You
mm.
know? So that to me, like, is the beginning of the journey of healing, is to become aware, hugely aware,
Absolutely.
without absorbing it, as you said, which is very beautifully put. You don't want to become so absorbed in it that you can be observant, but not absorbing it so fully that you're actually overwhelmed. That's not the plan.
Absolutely. And also, you don't want to become perfectionistic in that either, because
Mm,
you then are, aware, everything's awareness, and you then think, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? It's like, your own self-awareness is your own, and we
mm,
all perceive things differently. People are extra sensitive, people don't have as much feeling. So your own awareness is yours, and you learn to work with that, I suppose, is
mm,
it's a beautiful way of putting it. Otherwise, you're still kind of thinking, am I getting this right? Am I getting it wrong? It's
mm. There is no right or wrong.
about that. It's not about that.
It's
It's
not about that. It's about
awareness.
it's about like getting up every morning and having that sort of, to try and get back to a place of trust in yourself, leaning into your intuition confidently, not second guessing yourself, finding the voice you might have lost along the way. This is the kind of stuff that I deal with really kind of regularly with my own clients, is like losing the voice, people pleasing, walk on eggshells because you've done it all your life since you were a kid.
Mm,
You've been brought up in an environment where it's safer just to hide and, as I often say, be the mouse around the house. So you're trying to come into your own superpower of
mm,
standing in your beautiful growth as a human being, and you find your place at the table, and you have the right to have your place at the table. So it's
absolutely.
about knowing that people pleasing, carrying a load of shame, walking in eggshells, trying to please everybody. As somebody said to me there recently, I people pleased for so long that I actually want people I don't like to like me. And that
Mm,
struck me. So I was like, going, wow, that is so true, because when you're a people pleaser, you actually can go to that place.
mm,
You're so leading out to the world to be liked that you want people you don't like yourself to like you. So
mm.
this is the type of stuff we're going to be looking at deeply on our podcast, isn't it, Siobhan?
That's right. That's right. That's right, Kathy. We're talking about it all. Anything that comes up, and I suppose, like we said at the beginning, it's a space for everything to be here. Everything's
It is.
welcome.
It
There's
is.
no judgment. Everyone has a story. Everyone's going through something. Some people are more
Mm.
vocal about it. Some people never speak about it. And I suppose it's removing those stigmas around all of it. Everything is welcome. We're humans. It's messy. Nothing's straightforward. It's not black
Mm.
and white. And that's just the reality of it. And that's okay.
Oh, that's actually beautiful. And the thing about it is that what I would like to say here is that on the podcast, we're going to share our email addresses. You can send us something anonymously. You can just say Mary, or whatever. You don't have to give your full name, of something that's holding you back in your life, and you feel, I would love to get their opinion on this. We promise you that we will not divulge like to each other what way we're going to look at it, because two coaches in one couch will have different views.
That's a great idea. And as you were talking then, Kathy, I was like,
And
we come from
I think
such.
it's going to be important, because I will be coming at this maybe from the generational side, because I will see things through that lens,
Mm.
and you will come at it from a different angle, Siobhan. So
Hmm.
we promise, because we would like to experience this ourselves, that we will take that story, we will read it, both of us, and we'll come on here and look at it through the lens of our own way of seeing it. So you'll get two versions of the one story and how we would look at it differently. And I think that's going to be the beautiful thing about our podcast.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. And I love that. The fact that we're all different. We all think differently. We've all had different experiences, and we've all, like, you've trained in different things. I've trained in different things. So how we both
Mm,
dissect that and maybe give some advice or support around that will be different, which is beautiful, actually.
it is beautiful. And also, like when you mentioned the word training, what comes up for me really, and I want to share my little piece on this,
Mm,
my life's experience has stood to me in the room with my clients, even though I have done the training. Of course I have, because you couldn't rock up and pretend to be something if you hadn't done the training.
mm,
But to me, what happens in the room with my client and myself, and on this podcast, it will also happen. It's about our own personal journeys. I think this is what's going to make us, in this space, it's going to bring our true, authentic selves to the table,
mm,
because it's about our own personal journeys. And we have gone through the shame journey, and we are out the other end of that. And we would love more people to experience that. You
mm.
don't have to carry that stuff forever. You can leave it with us in a place where there is no judgment whatsoever.
No judgment at all. And that's a lovely way of putting it, Kathy, that, you know, everything that you've gone through, and
Mm,
whether you've worked in anything, it all takes shape when you're working with other people. You know,
mm,
there's a
mm,
thread that runs
mm,
along
mm,
with what we do,
mm, mhm,
and bringing and incorporating that with when working
mm,
with other people.
mm, mhm,
I often laugh when people say, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Have you got enough time for this?" Like,
mm, mm,
but it's all my thread throughout, whether it's been working in education, working, it's
mm,
always people. Like that is
mm,
the connection with people is,
mm,
you know,
mm,
that sensitivity and the depth is wonderful,
mm,
but it's what leads me to the work that I do. It's the connection and
mm,
having that empathy and understanding with other people.
mm, mm.
They can
Yeah,
feel safe.
that's interesting actually, because I remember when we started. Now, I have to share with you. I mean, you mentioned that you're from an educational background. Well, I'm
Mm,
from a business background. That was
mm.
my background is in business. But I will say that when you mentioned there, like about, oh, I've gone off track now. What did we say there? It doesn't matter. It'll come
Bringing
again.
everything into the room. So, like your personal experience, your lived experience, whether you've worked in different
Mm,
environments, you bring it all into the room. That was kind of
mm, yeah. Yeah, I suppose, look, really, when it boils down to it, like, I mean, I'm after going off track now and I haven't a clue where I'm going next, but I'm going to turn to you, Siobhan.
that's the story of our
I'm
lives.
going to turn to you and throw you under the bus there.
Good.
Like, I look, this is our aim, really, is to bring this into a forum where people can be seen and heard, non-judgmental place. And that's really what you're going to get when you go to a coaching session with one of us.
Yeah.
But this is going to be an open forum. You will have the opportunity, as I said earlier on, to bring yourself with your story to us in an email, and we will look at that every week. There'll be something. And I think earlier on when we said, like, what will our topic be? It can be anything. Our topics will come up. And as you see the way we're working even right now, we're sort of bubbling, and there's something coming up again and again and again. We could stay on this for hours. But
Yeah.
do you think we've enough said about ourselves for today?
I think we do. And also, just to end that, Kathy, like, you know, self-development, growth, change, being
Mm,
human is the, you know, there's heavy parts to it. That I mean, that's
mm,
a
mm,
given, right? We're human. And I would like to say that this is a space that's lighter and we have the crack. I mean, we're both a bit of fun and it doesn't,
mm,
it's that's going to be brought into this too. And I think that that's important to mention because it can be heavy enough at times. And this is a space that we kind of have a bit of a giggle too. Well, I definitely do.
Oh, yeah, sure. As they say,
Christ, if I didn't, I'd
we're
cry.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, the thing about it is that when you really are going through the process of change and you are going through the process of healing in any way, there have to be moments of lightness, because you just couldn't carry that load otherwise. Now, I'm after remembering what I was going to say, so I'm
Okay.
going to bring it in, okay? And I think that I want to say this, that when I started my training, one of the things they asked us, why are you coming to this? And really, for me, I came to it initially for, as you said, Siobhan, and you hit the nail on the head, for deep connection.
Mm,
I'm not a small talker. I don't enjoy small talk. I find it boring. And I'm being honest,
mm,
I like things to have a bit of meat in them. For
mm.
me, it's about connection. When I meet somebody, I want to feel I'm connected to them.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
that to me is the reason that I got into it, and it's the reason that keeps me absolutely in there
Mm.
wholeheartedly.
That's beautiful, Kathy. And it's
Yeah.
so wonderful to hear that because some people have that innately in them. You
Mm,
know, some people,
mm,
you know, everyone's at different levels of
mm,
awareness, let's say. So people have that depth. It's wonderful then that you really know that, and that's how
mm,
you are with other people. Like, that's
mm,
beautiful.
mm. Yeah.
That reminds me, I must share this with you before we leave.
Mm,
I was only talking about this the other day. When I was working, so many, many years ago, I worked in a five-star hotel in accommodation, and we did this training day. And there was all of the staff. I mean, there must have been a few hundred people there. We all had to, one of the exercises was we had to write out what we all had in common. So
mm,
everyone went around the room, they had to give one of the answers. Everyone has eyes, everyone has ears, everyone has hair. You know, the list went on, and a lot of it was the physical aspect. When it came to me, now I was 16 at the time, I have to laugh because it sums up what it came to me. I said, everyone has feelings. And then I thought,
mhm.
fuck, excuse my language, this is deep. You know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
is, again, a bit like that. It's there's a depth there. And I think
Mhm.
that that has to be there when you're working with other people in a
Mm,
vulnerable space, you know? And yeah,
mm.
so I just wanted to
And,
share
and
with you.
and
It
isn't
made
it
me
true of
laugh. I was like, crikey.
Siobhan, isn't it true of everyone? I mean, absolutely everyone. Because life can be so, it can be so, I suppose, again, that sort of the wheel mentality of just go, 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 go. We don't have time to step off the wheel to look at what we're feeling emotionally, what we're feeling, what's happening for us right now at this moment in time in
Mhm.
our bodies, what's going on. And this space, our podcast, is a space where people can get off the wheel and listen and actually hear and see and get a sense that that's good. That's a good thing to do. It's a
Yeah,
healthy thing to do.
just share some tools and some, you know, real life stories as well of how that maybe you've got through stuff, I've got through stuff, we've
Mm,
helped others achieve
mm,
certain things that
mm,
they wanted to get to, and to share
mm,
those things, you know,
mm,
like we said at the very start, when I'm working with people, I might bring in um, nervous system regulation to it. I might use behavior strategies. One isn't going to work with everything, so it's bringing in, you know, a few things that will help people,
mm,
you know,
mm,
wherever
mm,
they're
mm,
at, and
mm,
having that mix because, like we said,
mm.
it's not a one shoe fits all.
Not at all.
It's
Not
for
at all.
because with many with big boxes with many
Absolutely. Absolutely, Siobhan. So it's exciting. I think we kind of nearly have to wrap it up now
we do
because our time is up.
be talking for
And
hours.
and what I would say about it is that it's a weekly podcast, um, and we would love you to follow us, and enjoy it with us because we're looking forward to the journey.
Absolutely. So do you want to give your email?
Oh
Would
yes.
Yeah,
So my email is cathyoreillycoaching@gmail.com.
and mine is siobhanwalshcoaching@gmail.com. And you can drop a question. Also, actually, maybe we give our Instagram
Mm,
as well. Mine is Siobhan Walsh Coaching. Drop us a message.
mm,
We are gonna in time have our, our podcast Instagram, and we'll have all the information there too. So drop us a message if there's anything that comes up
mm,
you'd
mm,
like for us to discuss, or any questions that you have that you might be working through.
mm,
Drop them to us, and we can we'll be more than happy
mm.
to do that.
Well, my Instagram is Cathy O'Reilly Coaching. You'll get it on I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on TikTok. You can send me a message, absolutely. But I would be mentioning the podcast on my page anyway.
Yeah,
So if you have a message or anything you want to contact me about, please feel free to do so.
brilliant, brilliant. So, Kathy, thank you
Okie
for your
dokie.
time, and we will wrap that up there.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you next week
Please,
on
God.
Two Coaches, One Couch.
Two coaches and one coach.
I love the name, I must say.